hunted our hind end out this week, really, in a way, trying to kill a deer. This camera's a jinx. You can't see a deer. You can't see a deer when you got this camera for some reason. But he did it this morning, baby. Right there. Pro staffer Kevin Rice. On the good old point. It's been faithful to everybody that's ever hunted. Let's hear Bill's story about the point.
I tell you what now. I'd just like to thank S&M Outdoors for the opportunity. I tell you what, we've had a ball this week. The whitetail rut is in, it's on. And Brad has put us right in the middle of deer all week, but we've had the camera and we've had the jinx. See, I'm a jinx, man. Always a whitetail jinx. But this morning I got up and came up here, and Brad had some things going on, and he decided might ought to leave the camera behind because we're getting close to the end of the season. We're going to see if we couldn't make it happen. And sure enough, I came up and got in the stand, and the wind, you can tell right now, the wind's been blowing like this and maybe a little worse all morning. Even right at daylight was blowing like this. And I got up in the tree and sat there and didn't even bother putting no scent out because all that wind's coming right up out of the holler. And sat there till, well, a little after 9 o'clock, and I thought, nothing moved. I mean, today there wasn't even a ground squirrel, wasn't a gray squirrel, didn't see nothing stirring.
That usually ain't good.
Yeah, and I said, well, there ain't nothing happening on this point. I said, I'm going to get down and go off in one of these hollers and maybe see if I can't maybe rattle one in. And I'm telling you the truth now. This is truth. Unloaded my gun, took one out of the barrel, hooked it on the rope, lowered it down to the ground, put stuff in my backpack, tucked my backpack under the seat, got my strap off the tree, my safety strap, took it down, turned around and climbed halfway down the tree, folks, and I am not kidding, turned around 20 yards from the tree.
Yeah.
That deer was standing there. He's a 9-pointer, pretty good deer. He was standing 20 yards from the tree looking up toward the corn. He hadn't even seen me. He hadn't even seen me in all that commotion. Well, I just froze, and I said, well, here we go again, another bad luck story for old Calvin right here.
Yeah.
I said, man, this is terrible. And I mean, I was thinking, oh my goodness, how could it be? Well, that deer just kind of milled around, and he came on up, and I froze like a squirrel on the side of that tree. I was just standing there watching him, you know, wasn't moving a muscle. And that deer came on up and milled around, and he turned around and actually headed back down that way, just kind of, you know, wandering around. Didn't really have no purpose at the time, didn't seem like. And when he headed back down that way, buddy, I eased right back up that tree. I kept my eye on him, and when he was looking that way, I got back up in the stand. And I actually got up there and got set down. Had my backpack on one half of my shoulder, had to take it off and put it in there. And that deer, by the time I sat and he turned around and was coming back up toward the corn, and I said, well, if he gets up here past the corn, I said, he'll wind me and it'll be over. So I grabbed that rope, bud, and I was just pulling that gun up, just a steady, just trying to pull it up there. And I got my gun up there, and there it was, still had my rope attached to it when I killed the thing.
Yeah.
And still, I got the gun up there, and by that time, the deer had almost made it to the corn. And I just, as he had his head turned, I just worked one in the barrel. When I did, he looked around. He's trying to figure out what's going on. But then he went right back down and started eating in the corn. And I said, well, I've got him now, you know. And so I brought my gun up, and the vital area was behind some twigs, and I said, I'm going to have to take the shot because if he gets up any further, he'll win me. And well, it's in the corn. What is that, 20 yards or so?
It's actually a 16-yard shot.
16-yard shot with a 30-06, the Winchester, Model 70.
Yeah.
And I shot that
Earthquake.
Deer. And when I did, I knew I hit him. He humped up, son, and he come through here crashing into limbs, and he's down right over here, folks. Let's go and we'll take a look and see what we're doing.
We're going to walk and talk, folks. Walking and talking. Hey, folks, I don't think I've ever had a picture of this deer. But there's a little blood. But I'm telling you what, he killed a nice deer this morning. You look right there with a buck he's killed this morning up here on this point. I'll be honest with you, folks, that's the best deer ever been killed on this point. That is an awesome buck, boss.
He's not a bad deer.
That is an awesome buck, Kevin. I just tell you, buddy.
Looking 9-pointer, pretty thick right in here. Got some big webbing right.
Look right there, what some mass, son. Yeah, on that side.
He's a hoss now. He's balled up in a ball here.
We have never seen that deer, folks, here on this point. That is an awesome buck. I mean, that is a brute to me.
Yeah, that's the biggest deer I've ever killed. I mean, you
Well,
know,
good.
Doesn't have a whole lot of spread, but
that's a good deer, buddy. That deer right there, folks, I just tell you, that's a nice buck right there. Now, folks, got the brow tines, got really nice brow tines.
Look there, he's been rubbing.
He's been rubbing the fire to something this morning. Hey, folks, thank the Lord for that buck right there.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, S&M Outdoors. Appreciate my old buddy Brad for turning me on to this.
Oh, man, that is a nice buck.
What a pleasure. We've had a ball this week.
God, hey, folks, I don't want to put the camera on me this morning because we got a mate.